The 13th hat. Batman stands pat. All right. This is Batman 66, and we're going bats over it today. I love the Mad Hatter. Oh my God. He is such an awesome character, David Wayne. And I've got a Mad Hatter bust. It's so good. He might be my favorite villain of the Batman 66 pantheon of rogues of the Rogues Gallery. He's just so fun. I love the idea that he's stealing hats and their owners, and it's always an and. It's always like he's stolen his 12th hat and his 12th juror. It's like, okay, well, isn't it more important that he kidnapped a person than stole a hat? But in any case, all right, so let's talk about the bats. Let's get into the banter here. No hat will be safe in Gotham City. And so, I mean, there's so many lines where the hat and the owner are not going to be safe. A lot of references to that. Commissioner Gordon has a great line about the payroll, about parole. He's like, oh, it's the terrible day when the word parole was invented. That's a great one. Batman has a nice line where Robin is saying, hey, Mad Hatter threatened you. And he says, few men die of threats. I like that one a lot. I think that's really good. Holy Frogman. That's one of the holies in here. That's a good one. I pretty much like all of the references to the hats, the wearer of the hat, and how the hat is the more important part of it. I like that a lot of the characters know Jervis Tetch. I think this is one of the maybe the very few, if maybe the only character that has his real name. Like no one ever says Oswald Cobblepot or Oswald or anything like that, but Jervis Tetch is mentioned, and then the Mad Hatter. So that's very interesting that they say his actual name. Like no one says Selina Kyle or anything like that. So I thought that was pretty neat. Now I'm not sure if many of the villains had their aliases at the time of this show, but I just remember thinking, yeah, Jervis Tetch. It's like, yeah, he's one of the few people, if only, I think he might be the only character that's named. So that's kind of interesting. The action in this one, this has been the first ever of the episodes now in season 1 where the action has actually been pretty damn good. We've got the fight in the sculptor's shop, the Octave Marble or whatever. That was not too bad. And then Batman gets thrown in, the plaster falls on him, and so it's not a death trap. It's really just like he got himself nailed with that plaster, and then that's your cliffhanger. It's pretty cool. There isn't usually, up until now, hasn't been big action in the first episode. Usually there's a fight at the end. There is the super instant. Well, I guess I'll use that as the technology, but Robin does get mesmerized there as part of that fight or whatever. And then the henchmen in this one actually use guns, which is interesting too. They use guns and they try to force Batman into the Hat Factory, as the way Mad Hatter says it. But they have guns, and you're like, hey, go get in there. You're like, oh, cool, that's kind of cool. The Robin actually gets thrown into the Hat Factory, and it's really not really that great because, I mean, the first thing that's supposed to skin the rabbits or whatever, he goes right through it. So the Hat Factory didn't seem that tough. I guess the spinning thing that like cuts them up, that would have probably killed him, and also the swords. He doesn't really like hit any of the really dangerous stuff, but and there is a good fight and in that one, and Mad Hatter does get thrown into the acid or whatever, but then he's fine. He just walks it off and he's good. But yeah, this is the first time where both parts had pretty decent action fights. So that's new. For the technology, of course, there's the super instant mesmerizer, which is like the bing, the little hat, the top hat opens up and eyes nail you. I thought that was really, really cool. There is, of course, the map of Gotham City that has the edge, the illuminated edge or whatever. I got, whatever. I love that Batman draws out where Mad Hatter is kidnapping people and it makes a hat. Like, I mean, okay, he's kidnapping the jurors. So what, do they all live in this exact spot that makes a little hat symbol? Whatever. The Batmobile does have its anti-theft device yet again. We've seen that now before. We saw that with the Riddler. Those are pretty much the big tech things. I'm not going through the Bat phone or the Batmobile. Things that we've already seen, I'm not going to really mention again. I'm not going to keep mentioning them again. The schemes. Okay, so the schemes of this one here are really cool. The Mad Hatter is stealing the hats and the owners of the jury that convicted him. His big prize target, of course, is Batman's cowl. He intends to get it by pretending to be Octave Marbeau, the sculptor. I'm a sculptor. And then he says, "Oh, can you take off? Please remove your cowl." So obviously that doesn't go anywhere. But pretty interesting. I like that he's out for revenge, and it's very particular. Like, okay, I'm going to get these people. I always wondered while watching this episode why, except for Turkey Bullwinkle, every other victim doesn't know who Mad Hatter is. Like, if they were at his trial, should they not recognize him immediately? I feel like Turkey was like the smartest guy. He figured it out right away. I love that Alfred gets involved in this one. They give him a mission to give the bat transmitter. I guess you call that some technology as well, the bat transmitter, to put that into the hat of Mr. Bullwinkle so that they can trace the Mad Hatter. I like that. That's pretty good. You've got the girl in this one as well. She's a bit meaner, Lisa. Lisa's a little bit meaner than the other girls. Like, I feel like she's with Mad Hatter and she's like, "Oh, darling, oh, so beautiful," and it's like she's evil. She's definitely evil. She's not a sympathetic. Sometimes the women are sympathetic in this one, but not this one here. Any other important? I'm trying to see if there's anything important that I really missed out. No, those are basically sort of the schemes. I do like that Batman is trying to be on top of stuff. And it's like, he's like, okay, let's figure out who the victims are going to be. Obviously Batman, and even says that he's like, "Oh, I could have been so stupid." It's like, he should have caught on to this plan quicker, but he didn't, but that's fine. This is an absolutely great two-parter. I love the Mad Hatter. I think he's a genius. The idea of stealing the hats as being the first thought. A lot of hat motif stuff here, and a lot of comments on that. I feel like I should have worn my Batman hat. I should have worn my Batman hat for this. That's a fail on me. But anyways, please give me a thumbs up on this video. Please check out the other stuff, and let me know, man, what your thoughts are on Batman.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.